So Maria, it's just you and I since we don't have Dorothy, so hopefully we agree on these things.
Okay.
All right, and I haven't heard back from Sean. I had told him I was in support of having Christina be the third member, so, but he hasn't, I don't think, officially done that yet. So it's just the two of us.
Okay, hopefully it won't be a split decision.
All right, so Lorraine, whenever you're ready, you can start recording.
Okay.
All right. So it is now 10:35 a.m. on Monday, June 1st, 2020, and I'll call this meeting of the Englewood Environmental Foundation Board to order. My name is Maria DeAndre, and if we could go around and introduce who else is on this in this meeting, starting with Maria Sabata.
Hello, Maria Sabata, Director of Finance.
Allison McKinney-Brown, City Attorney.
John, are you on?
John Donikowski, Facilities Project Manager.
Okay, and Lorraine.
Lorraine O'Gean, Staff Liaison.
Okay, thank you. So our first item is approval of the minutes from May 7th, 2020. And so I'll entertain a motion to approve those.
I move to approve the minutes.
I second. So all those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? None? All right, that passes. Okay. So we have several items of new business today. Primarily, or well, first I'll open it up. Are there any members of the public, Lorraine, that you've become aware of? I don't think there's anybody else in our call, but did anybody contact you from the public wishing to speak at this meeting?
Maria, we have no public forum.
Okay, nobody contacted you, all right.
Correct.
So I'll move on to new business. And so we have, basically today we're going to talk about our TerraCare contract extension, as well as some of our other on-calls that we have for a contract extension, and then finally our fountain startup and maintenance contract. So the first item is our TerraCare contract that expired on May 25th. And so what we're doing is we're looking to extend that. They are asking that their prices be increased slightly in some areas. But we do want to go out for new bids. So we've discussed this internally. John is our new liaison for EEF, and we feel that we could, we just need a higher level of service, basically. Interestingly, too, so we're not asking for a contract increase to cover these next 2 to 3 months. So we're asking to extend the contract by 2 months within on a month-to-month basis, but we're not increasing the dollar amount, and that's because their current or their original PO was set up for $133,500. That was brought to council and approved in about, it was, you know, late May of 2019. To date, they've expended only $61,720. So, and that's despite, so less than half. And I know we've maybe got a few invoices out there that haven't gotten paid yet, but nothing significant. So you can see that, and while we've asked them, you know, hey, can you do more? Can you get another person on? You know, obviously we have the money to do that. They just have not been able to respond to those requests. And so we need to just find somebody who can perform at a higher level. Anything you want to add, John?
I would concur with that statement, being that if they're not able to provide a better service, then yeah, I think we need to entertain looking at somebody. I do have a walkthrough with TerraCare tomorrow, just to kind of introduce myself for the interim and go over some items that I had, but I agree 100% as far as keeping it out as a month-to-month basis for now.
Yeah, so I think we're proposing that we extend the contract by 2 months, and then on basically an as-needed basis to transition that to a different provider. Or if they bid on it with more assistance, I guess they could be considered. But you know, we're really chasing them every single day, and we just need something higher from them.
I'd like to thank you guys for recognizing the need to do this. So has the RFP been issued yet?
No.
No. Okay.
And we're actually talking with more of like we're gonna, I think John's already kicked that off, talking with a property management company to maybe incorporate several of these contracts into one, as opposed to having separate ones.
Okay.
So with that, I'd make a motion to approve a contract extension with TerraCare. Oh, they are asking for slightly increased prices too, which we're okay with. So 2-month extension with TerraCare to their contract, then on a month-to-month basis beyond that, at their increased unit rates as outlined in their email. That would be my motion.
And I will, so I can second that motion?
Yep.
Yes, so I will second that motion.
Okay. Any further discussion or questions, Maria?
None from me.
Okay. All right, so there is a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that passes. So the next three will Armstrong sweeping contract extension, design mechanical contract extension, and McBride electric contract extension. I'll talk about each of those individually, and then we can make separate motions. So these were established in mid to late May of 2019 as well. And we have the ability to extend them another year based on their current rates. Nobody has asked for a rate increase. So Armstrong sweeping is obviously for sweeping in and around the EEF area, including the parking garage. Design mechanical is our HVAC contractor who's on call. Primarily the only thing we have for HVAC is the boiler system that heats the RTD bridge so that it automatically melts the snow up there. So we haven't had to call on them a lot. And then McBride Electric does kind of troubleshooting and fixes things from an electrical standpoint. So we're very comfortable with all of their services. And so staff is recommending that we increase or extend the contract for another year with each of those three based on their current rates.
So can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
So is the same, would these companies also be managed in the future if we move this route by the property manager?
Maybe John can answer that. I don't know if this kind of stuff falls within them. I would say probably the sweeping, but would this be property management stuff, John?
I think we could probably keep these separate for now. I don't see the need to have an outside entity to manage these, just because it's not, I don't see it as an everyday thing. So I think I would recommend just keeping it separate for now and maybe incorporating the sweeping in the future if we do end up entertaining an agreement from a property manager from that standpoint.
And the way I read the contract is that we can term at any time with or without cause. So I think if we decided to go that route, within the next year, we could still incorporate sweeping into our property management contract.
Okay.
Okay. So with that, I'll make a motion to extend the Armstrong sweeping contract for an additional year at the rates that were quoted within their 2019 proposal.
I'll second that.
Okay. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. And then I'll make a motion to approve a contract extension with Design Mechanical for the year, for the next year for basically HVAC services on call and at their current or the proposed rates that were in their 2019 proposal.
I'll second that.
Okay. So motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right. And just so you know, these dollar amounts are less than what we, our threshold. So I think Armstrong sweeping was around, I want to say 15 to 18,000. And the mechanical and the electrical we set up for, I believe it was 20 or 25 each, and we haven't even come close to either of those dollar amounts. So then I will make a motion to extend the contract with McBride Electric for an additional year at the rates that were quoted in their 2019 proposal.
I'll second.
Okay, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, opposed? None? Great. All right, and then finally, we want to establish or approve a contract with K&M Maintenance Services? Or is that the right name, John? K&M?
K&M Enterprise.
Okay, K&M Enterprise. So fountain startup, maintenance, and then winter shutdown. So they did provide us a price. If you recall, last year we did get quotes from 2 different firms, including K&M. They were not the lowest, but we ended up having to call them in to basically manage the fountain because they were the only ones that we could identify who could work on that particular controller. So we are suggesting this as an optimal source, given the gentleman who works for K&M, his knowledge of the system, his overall knowledge of troubleshooting it, and the total contract amount that he quoted us. So this is, again, startup, shutdown, and then weekly maintenance is $25,635. So with that, I'd make a motion, or well, first, any questions?
Yes, this is Maria. I have a question. So this says 2021 fountain startup. Is that correct? Is it this year's 2020?
This year's, yes. Mm-hmm.
So it's 2020 fountain startup.
Oh,
So
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, the agenda's wrong. I've got the budget on my brain, I think.
I was going to say that's because we've got you conditioned to move into 2021 already, right?
Oh,
Okay, I
I'm
just wanted
already
to make sure. So it's for
7
this
months
year.
ahead.
I was like, hopefully they're not going to start it up in the winter. No, that's great. Okay, just wanted that clarification. Thank
Mhm.
you.
So we have, John's created a memo with the sole source or optimal source justification. So that'll go into Tyler New World with the PO request.
Great, thank you very much. Perfect.
So again, I'll make a motion to approve a contract with K&M Enterprise for the 2020 fountain startup, shutdown, and maintenance.
And I'll second that.
All right, there's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? None? All right, so that passes. All right, thank you for catching that. It didn't even as I'm looking at the agenda, it doesn't dawn on me. Like, oh,
We're in 2021 already. We're in that world.
in my brain I am, yeah. All right, so is there any old business for anyone to bring up? Allison, anything to add?
No, I have nothing to add.
Okay. So no old business items. With that, we'll adjourn. It's now 10:48 a.m. Thank you.
Thank you all.